Hi guys, Lindsay here with Storybook Family Farm. Today we have a little bit of a warm up going on. It's supposed to hit 40 degrees today. It has yet to hit that. Obviously the snow has not melted behind me, so it's really not very warm out. But today I decided to take the opportunity to try to grab some more firewood to take down to the house and to get things more gathered up. If you've been following us for a while, you know that last year we heated our house primarily with wood. We really didn't have much other of a heat source than just the firewood. So we pretty much were scrambling all year last year, all summer and spring when we got this place to secure as much wood as possible. There was several large downed trees here, but to be quite honest, it's really hard for me as a chick to process very large firewood. We actually had to have a friend come over that owned a larger chainsaw to be able to cut through some of the really big trees that were downed here already. And it's really not easy for us to split wood. We do not have a log splitter, so everything that we're splitting is completely by hand. I have a lot of issues where my hands will just let go of things and sort of throw things. So for me to use a splitting axe or a maul, it is actually incredibly dangerous. So whenever I have to split firewood, I actually just use like an 8-pound sledgehammer and a splitting wedge. So in that way, if I accidentally release the sledgehammer, at least I'm not going to cut any body parts off. So that's just how I do it. Plus, I think for a woman, it makes it easier to just consistently be hitting the same spot. So all of your effort is going into the same area, instead of, just whacking the snot out of something. But that's just my own personal preference. But last year what we had discovered was that we actually found that we enjoyed using small diameter wood a lot better than anything that was larger that had to be split. Not just because of the aspect of splitting is kind of a pain, but mainly because of the fact that we realized that we would have the opportunity to have a lot of small diameter stuff. Trees frequently throw down branches that are, about this big around. This is, in some places, probably 2 inches in diameter. That we would get a lot of this size firewood. With planting orchards and things of that nature, eventually we're going to be pruning our trees, our fruit trees and whatnot. So in that way we could use those prunings then as firewood. The other thing too is we have neighbors around us that also have woods. Nobody really wants to, at least in our experience, we don't know anybody else that likes to mess with the small diameter stuff. A lot of people, they cut up the big stuff that's going to need split. They then will split it and then move it around. There's like a weird light that keeps, boy, that's distracting. Anyways, sorry, ADHD brain here. But so all of our neighbors pretty much, they don't want to ever mess with the stuff that's really small around, just because, well, I'm really not sure why. I don't know if it's the masculine thing of thinking bigger is always better or what, but we found that we actually really like using the smaller diameter stuff like this because it helps get the fire started really well. It also burns really hot really fast. That's why the whole rocket stove idea is to use very small diameter wood, because sticks burn fast and they burn hot. So you can use this when we're starting out the fires to get it so that way it really heats up a lot. We've also had issues with our split wood not burning very well. I don't know if it's that it's not quite dry enough or what. Eventually we'll invest in one of them little meter thingy jigs that test the moisture level in the wood, but it's not been something that's been on our priority list, because to be quite honest, once our son's not living with us anymore, he's 17, so eventually he's going to, grow up and move out. We don't really want to keep messing with the really big diameter stuff. Plus, we don't own a saw that big. But anyways, so I've actually taken the time today, since it's warmed up a little bit, to work on gathering up some of the piles I have of this smaller diameter stuff here. So then that way I can run through it with the chainsaw real quick and just basically buzz them all down into length. So in that way we can combine them with some of the stuff that burns slower and not as hot. So in that way, basically it's just how we've been doing it. I don't know the science behind any of this. This is only our second year heating with wood. I've not really known anybody else that uses small diameter stuff, so I don't really have anybody else to ask. But I do know that nobody seems to really care if I'm like, hey, can I come get sticks out of your yard? Can I get wood out of your woods that's, as big around as my wrist? Everybody pretty much is really over the moon when I'm like, can I come get small stuff that's fallen in the storm? So it definitely helps out with heating, makes it so that way we have a lot of different stuff. And it'll be really nice here in the next month or so, whenever it becomes time for me to tap the maple trees. So that way I can have plenty of excess material that might not be good to burn in the house, but it's a bunch of wood, so that way I can work on burning the sap down, because to To be quite honest, that is a very lengthy process. I'm going to go through a ton of wood doing that, so I'll probably see if the neighbor that way will let me harvest some dead pine that he has laying around, but I'm sure that'll be fine too. So anyways, that's it for today. I've got to get busy because even though it is warmer today a little bit, I'm getting cold sitting here, so I got to get back to work so that way I can get blood flowing, I can get warmed up, and get this ish knocked out. So anyways, thanks for watching. Have a good one, guys.